Well,
Uh,
all right. Good evening, my friends. Welcome to ACIM Talks with Reverend Jim. It is Monday. A new work week is beginning. So, you know, it's a new work week starting when we're here for ACIM Talks. What is this? The 14th of July?
yes, yes.
We're about halfway through July, and seems like just the other day I was planning for January.
Oh.
Is this the time speed up all the young people don't know about? They think
Right.
they have all the time in the world, and then they get tricked with the time speed up, and they go, "Oh my God, what happened?" All right. Well, at least we know about it. So thank y'all for being here. And I guess the first thing I wanted to do is to just offer a word in celebration of my friend Frank Haas, one of our Tuesday night Course in Miracles study group members. Uh, Frank passed away this Saturday, and really it was quite unexpected in that he had had some health challenges. He had taken a fall, but he
Nice.
did that and went through rehab for it and was back in his residence. So we all thought he was progressing, but uh, I was informed Saturday afternoon that he passed on Saturday morning in his sleep. I don't know the causes, but here's a picture of my buddy. I think it's from 2022. And we were together. Here, let's get Kathleen in here. Miss Erickson, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. A little sad. I was just telling people about this guy on the screen,
Uh-huh.
a member at Unity of Livonia and a
Yep.
good friend of mine. And he made his transition on
Oh,
Saturday.
okay.
So you may not have met him. He's in
Yeah,
our
no, he was in our groups.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you met Frank either on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think
Yep. Yep.
with you. Hold on, we got one more coming here, and that is Laverne. Miss Hughes. Wait, let's get her in here good. Hopefully. Laverne, where are you?
I'm here.
Hey,
There she
how you
is.
doing, partner? Good to
I'm
see you.
I'm doing good, thank you.
Yeah, well, we're just getting started, but I was just telling people about my friend Frank, or our friend Frank. He passed away on Saturday.
Oh, I'm so
He was a
sorry.
member at, thank you, at Unity of Livonia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a quite unexpected, uh, but Frank was 92. I think he'll be 90, would have been 93 in a month or so. So older gentleman and a fine man. So I just wanted to take a moment to do a little tribute and ask if you would offer prayers up for Frank's family and that. I haven't heard anything yet about any arrangements for Frank. Ron or anybody heard anything?
No,
Not
I
yet.
think even Reverend Cindy said this morning, not yet, but
I knew Frank from Royal Oak Unity. He used to come to
um,
Wednesday afternoon A Course in Miracles meetings for many years.
Oh,
Yeah.
I knew him
And
from there, and
nice.
as well as on Tuesdays from our Tuesday group.
Mhm.
Nice.
I know he's been a AA sponsor for many years also.
Mhm.
And
And-
so a psychologist, I think, by that.
Mhm.
Did he start studying the course while he was still in practice? His psycho.
Yeah, do you know what?
I don't know.
Because I was
Yeah.
wondering if he applied it, if
Mhm.
if he was
Well-
still working when he began this study.
Well, you see that smile on his face? When
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
talk to anybody, even his friends that knew him up to his transition,
Yeah.
he always had that smile on his
Yeah.
face. So I think he was at peace about everything. And
Mhm.
we've had some individual conversations where, you know, he was up to it. Okay,
All right.
up to it.
Okay.
This is about 3 years ago. We were at a Halloween activity. I think it was Trunk or Treat
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Livonia, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
anyhow, offer good wishes to Frank and send some prayers up for his family and that, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to mention too, he was a greeter at our church. And
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
so he's the first person you'd see when you walked in the door with that beautiful smile, a hug, of course.
Indeed. Indeed. So, with that said, I guess we can get to our usual subject matter on ACIM Talks, which is either one of two things. It's either our Oracle text study that we're doing, or it is our book study of Unity and A Course in Miracles. Well, tonight we're in our Oracle book study, still studying chapter 14. It's called Teaching for Truth. And let's see, it's just for perspective. We are on page 289, the Holy Meeting Place. Now, chapters, I believe 13, 14, and 15 are probably some of the longest chapters in A Course in Miracles. And chapter 14, being part of that group, has about 11 sections altogether. So we made it up to section 8, the Holy Meeting Place. And I just thought I'd try this thing again. Remember last time we showed a video
Mhm.
of the reading instead of us doing the reading? So if it's okay with you, I'll show you the video with someone reading this section in the course. Take notes. It's only about maybe 6-7 minutes long.
And what page are we on?
Well, it's on page 289 in the text.
Okay, thanks.
The Holy Meeting Place. And so let's watch the video on that section and talk about it. And then after that, we can go back to our usual format of reading for section 9, the reflection of holiness. So if that's agreeable with everyone, yeah, you can follow along the video in your book. And I'll get that started and see what you think. The Holy Meeting Place.
A Course in Miracles, Chapter 14, Section 8, The Holy Meeting Place. In the darkness, you have obscured the glory God gave you and the power He bestowed upon His guiltless Son. All this lies hidden in every darkened place, shrouded in guilt and in the dark denial of innocence. Behind the dark doors you have closed lies nothing, because nothing can obscure the gift of God. It is the closing of the doors that interferes with recognition of the power of God that shines in you. Banish not power from your mind, but let all that would hide your glory be brought to the judgment of the Holy Spirit, and there undone. Whom He would save for glory is saved for it. He has promised the Father that through Him you would be released from littleness to glory. To what He promised God, He is wholly faithful, for He shares with God the promise that was given Him to share with you. He shares it still for you. Everything that promises otherwise, great or small, however much or little valued, He will replace with the one promise given unto Him to lay upon the altar to your Father and His Son. No altar stands to God without His Son, and nothing brought there that is not equally worthy of both, but will be replaced by gifts wholly acceptable to Father and to Son. Can you offer guilt to God? You cannot then offer it to His Son, for they are not apart, and gifts to one are offered to the other. You know not God, because you know not this, and yet you do know God, and also this. All this is safe within you, where the Holy Spirit shines. He shines not in division, but in the meeting place where God, united with His Son, speaks to His Son through Him. Communication between what cannot be divided cannot cease. The holy meeting place of the unseparated Father and His Son lies in the Holy Spirit and in you. All interference in the communication that God Himself wills with His Son is quite impossible here. Unbroken and uninterrupted love flows constantly between the Father and the Son, as both would have it be, and so it is. Let your mind wander not through darkened corridors, away from light's center. You and your brother may choose to lead yourselves astray, but you can be brought together only by the guide appointed for you. He will surely lead you to where God and His Son await your recognition. They are joining in giving you the gift of oneness, before which all separation vanishes. Unite with what you are. You cannot join with anything except reality. God's glory and His Son's belong to you in truth. They have no opposite, and nothing else can you bestow upon yourself. There is no substitute for truth, and truth will make this plain to you as you are brought into the place where you must meet with truth. And there you must be led through gentle understanding which can lead you nowhere else. Where God is, there are you. Such is the truth. Nothing can change the knowledge given you by God into unknowingness. Everything God created knows its Creator, for this is how creation is accomplished by the Creator and by His creations. In the holy meeting place are joined the Father and His creations, and the creations of His Son with them together. There is one link that joins them all together, holding them in the oneness out of which creation happens. The link with which the Father joins himself to those he gives the power to create can never be dissolved. Heaven itself is union with all of creation and with its one creator, and heaven remains the will of God for you. Lay no gifts other than this upon your altars, for nothing can coexist with it. Here your little offerings are brought together with the gift of God, and only what is worthy of the Father will be accepted by the Son, for whom it is intended. To whom God gives himself, he is given. Your little gifts will vanish on the altar, where he has placed his own. This concludes section 8.
All right, so we finished that section, right? Expeditiously. Thoughts, comments on the whole section? Anything you highlighted or underlined or question mark?
Mhm.
What'd you say, Laverne?
I said there was one in paragraph 4. Since we were comparing the Course in Miracles and the Unity teachings, in paragraph 4, sentence 4, it says, "Where God is, there are you." And in Unity, we say, "Wherever I am, God is." So that just struck me since we were
Yeah,
kind of doing some comparison between the two.
yeah, kind of two approaches to saying the same thing.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's a great
Right.
insight in terms of
Mhm.
compatibility with unity principles.
Yeah. And I also thought that in paragraph 2, sentence 15, the unbroken and uninterrupted love flows constantly between the Father and the Son. I thought that was so beautiful to know that it flows constantly, unbroken.
And yeah, flowing constantly. But the other thing that was significant to me is what is flowing unbroken and constantly, and why does that matter? What is it he says flows unbroken and uninterrupted?
Love. Mhm.
So, I mean, what's the import? Why is love? Is that something that would be preferred?
Over
Absolutely.
fear? Yeah.
Why?
Why is it preferred?
Why would love be preferred?
Let me count the ways. I mean,
Okay, just a few will do. Enumerate some. That's the point
Uh,
we want to make to everybody.
yeah. Because you don't have to worry or have anxiety. And when you compare that with fear, which gives you worry and anxiety, you don't
Yeah,
have to have that.
okay. It has happy benefits. I'm so glad that is the attribute that is flowing. It's peace and joy and happiness and inspiration and feel good stuff.
It's today's lesson. Love is the way I walk in gratitude.
Yeah, there's a certain cohesion in all of these course things, isn't there? Are there others that anyone saw that you want to talk about? Don't get me started. You know, I've thought of a few.
Yeah, me too.
I guess I'm thinking about the same lines that you guys are talking about in paragraph, that love connects everything. And, you know, of course, I listen to the news, right?
Oh, yes.
Which I could probably skip, but we don't need to go there right now. And one of the stories I listened to was very sad, and it had to do with the deaths of children. And reading this reminds me that love was there too. You know, I may not see it, I may not be aware of it. All I have to do is realize that it's true. Whatever was going on, love was also there.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you, that's an important insight that you're offering. You seem to say, despite all the appearances, love was there too.
Mm-hmm.
Look at paragraph 4
Okay.
and sentence 3. Jesus says, and there you must be led. Where is that? Where is it that he's referring to? I guess it's in the previous sentences. Where?
What paragraph are you in, Jim?
Paragraph 4. And
Would it be truth?
yeah. And to the truth, you must be led.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How must
Through gentle understanding, through perception of,
so that understanding is a gentle way of seeing not just tragedy going on in these deaths, but something more. The insight is what looks like tragedy is part of God's plan. Especially if the kids didn't really die, as in death being tragic.
Right.
It says, I understand. Well, here, let me put it out here. If there is no death, how does that understanding help you watch the news?
You can watch it with a different perspective. You can watch it without being fearful or
Different
afraid.
understanding. And what kind of remedy is that help you stay at peace? It wasn't something harsh or oppressive. It was just a gentle insight, the light of understanding. Those are here. Let me take y'all here too. We may as well look at paragraph 3, okay? Sentence 3. I'm sorry, paragraph 2. Paragraph 2, sentence 3. No altar stands to God without his son. There's that word again. What does the word altar remind you of? An altar is a noun, right?
Yes.
Is there a verb form of altar?
Yes.
How is it spelled? The noun is spelled
ALTER.
ALTAR. How is the verb spelled?
ALTER, I think. Alter.
Okay. What does the verb do? What is it's to change?
Mm-hmm.
So the altar, the references in these writings and others talk about a place where change occurs, where a transformation occurs, where an alchemy occurs, where lead is turned to gold, or a place of change where misery is transformed into joy. It's a key word. You hear it a few times, not just in the course, but in literature in general. So it's helpful when you understand that the altar is the place where that action occurs. Jacob, there was this place where he had this supposed fight with an angel. And he said, I will not let you go until you bless me. And he hung on and stayed connected until he got his wish. And it was a transformation so great that Jacob, to signify that altar, changed his name from Jacob to Israel. An altar is a place where a great transformation or change can occur. Right? So at the end of this, you'll notice it said in paragraph 5, sentence 6, to whom God gives himself, he is given. Your little gifts, your little willingness brought to this place of change will be replaced with the gifts of God. So you brought a little, and God gave a lot. You with me? Other passages here in section 8 that you thought are noteworthy?
Well, I thought in paragraph 5, sentence 2, heaven itself is union with all of creation and with its one creator. So I had to think about that. Heaven itself is union. Heaven meaning the king, metaphysically, the kingdom of the kingdom of heaven is in your mind. So, and I'm thinking, heaven itself meaning mind itself is the union with all creation and with its one creator, with all creation. So that kind of like struck me.
Makes me think of mentalism, the first of the 7 Hermetic laws. Y'all familiar? Hermes, Tristus, it means thrice great. These 7 Hermetic laws, it said something like uh, he was some sort of associate even with Abraham. So out of all these Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, stuff like that, they all are outsprings from Hermetic law. And the first Hermetic law is mentalism. Everything is mental. So everything is mine, to get it back into Laverne's vernacular. So union is joining of minds. There's ultimately one mind, and when you join with that, you're joining with all that is. How's that explanation about union? What does yoga mean? Union, joining. Joining with what? Well, the only thing that can join are minds. Everything is mental. So you'll hear quantum physicists and that today saying there is no objective reality. There is no out there. And you say, nah, that's too impossible. Are you kidding me? But don't play out there cheap. It represents a problem, but it also represents the solution to the problem. Who wants to disagree, or who can help me out on what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if I can do that. I'll bring up another word this may have nothing to do with anything, okay? But I'm thinking, does this involve energy, this joining? Do we have to be on the same frequency?
Everything is vibration.
So somehow, yeah.
God, I'll have one of these days. I'm gonna bring the 7 laws, just the outline of the 7 laws for you. And I know 7 is gender. Everything has a positive and negative. Have you heard of this one? It's correspondence. Have you heard of correspondence? It says, as above, so below.
So below, yeah.
As below, so above. I remember phrases in the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done where?
On earth as it is in heaven.
Okay, that's it's correspondence. What it says is the same mechanism that operates in the macro is also at play in every micro. So the laws that hold for the universe holds for your day-to-day relationships. As above, so below. As below is your microcosmic experiences are simply emblematic of the macrocosmic laws. So I don't want to get too far off on that, although I will promise to just bring you a list of the 7 Hermetic laws, and we can briefly discuss those. But Who made that last comment? I forgot where we are. Laverne. All right. Anything else? We are on the holy meeting place. And the holy meeting place is the altar, is the place where the exchange can get made of your illusions for what? Starts with a T.
Your
Truth.
illusions are true, right?
Okay.
Right.
Where you can turn your lead into gold.
Mhm.
Where you can turn your fear into joy. Now, Ron and Kathleen, would y'all chime in before we leave this one tonight? I feel like something's, and D hasn't said much. Oh,
I have noise in my background, so I can't.
you gotta go for a minute? Sure. All right. And how about the others? Y'all all right? Or
Yeah, I'm following it all.
oh, good. Good deal. Ron, what do you think, sir?
I'm doing just fine as well.
Okay. Have
Makes
you done
sense.
this chapter or this chapter in your group over at Royal Oak?
You know, I don't remember. I think we have
Yes.
at one time or another, because we've gone through the whole book.
Yeah. You
and
guys
we've
meet
been
every
there. So
week.
yes.
You do? Yeah. All right. And you've been professor over there for a while, haven't you? Just many years.
Well, I do my thing over there. I run one Monday morning group and I enjoy it.
Yeah. We're all out doing our parts. Hey, Laverne, have you gotten any gigs as a licensed Unity teacher or anything yet?
Well, I just have classes as needed. Um, I've done a class on resilience, which was based on the 12 powers, and I'm going to do one on prosperity coming up maybe September or late August. So,
Okay. Let
mhm.
me know. I'll try to come check you out, sister.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Great.
That would
Let
be
us, can you let us,
Yes.
know,
Yes.
and we'll try to,
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
absolutely.
Where do you hold your meetings, Laverne?
Usually I do them in-house at church, Godland Unity Church, but I am going to try to, don't let me say try, 'cause I always say trying is lying. I'm going to also do the next one, do it in-house as well as on Zoom.
Okay.
So I'm working on that technology now so that we,
Mhm.
And Laverne, I know you miss your Sunday school. You know, we lost
yes.
to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pneumonia after the pandemic, because Laverne was really big with leading that Sunday school program. So
Yes.
congratulations on that.
Thank
And now
you.
maybe I digress, but I hope that's okay with everybody in that. Kathleen, you do any teaching?
No,
All right.
our Unity Church disbanded,
Yes, ma'am.
so
Mhm.
so that's kind of, mostly Zoom that I connect.
Mhm.
Do
Mhm.
you facilitate any of the groups or Zoom?
No.
Okay, I think D does, but
Yeah, Dee does. Yeah.
for right now. And
And Kathleen does a lot of teaching in the group that I facilitate.
Oh, well, not
Whenever she
officially.
opens her mouth, she's
an unofficial leader, right? We all contribute in that. All right. Debbie, you teaching anywhere or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to learn because you wouldn't think that from the way I talk, would you? But I am trying to learn.
Well, if you're not teaching with words, you're still teaching through demonstration, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we're all teachers.
Mhm.
I don't want
And learning through each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, I'll tell you the main reason I like being a Course in Miracles teacher is because what you teach teaches you.
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
I love what I learned. And I think a lot of it is because I spend so much time trying to be a teacher that it facilitates my learning.
Sure.
And I go, oh, wow, I don't know if they liked it, but it's
Love it.
great. Anyhow, we got time if you like. Can we move on to page 293, the equality of miracles? And let's go old school with this one and get our reading list going. I have Sherilyn as reader 1 and Dee is 2.
I'm gonna pass.
Oh, all right then.
Okay.
So Debbie will be reader 2. Ron is 3. Kathleen 4, and Laverne reader 5. So let's see how we do with section Roman numeral 9, 291. Sherilyn?
91.
Okay. The reflection of holiness. The atonement does not make holy. You were created holy. It merely brings unholiness to holiness, or what you made to what you are. Bringing illusion to truth or the ego to God is the Holy Spirit's only function. Keep not your making from your Father, for hiding it has cost you knowledge of Him and of yourself. The making of time, the knowledge is safe, but where is your safety apart from it? The making of time to take the place of timelessness lay in the decision to be not as you are. Thus, truth was made past, and the present was dedicated to illusion. And the past, too, was changed and interposed between what always was and now. The past that you remember never was, and represents only the denial of what always was.
Hmm? All right, Debbie, let's do another and then we can talk.
What page are we on? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What page?
291.
291.
291. Thank you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And Debbie was going to read paragraph 2.
Bringing the ego to God is but to bring error to truth, where it stands corrected because it is the opposite of what it means. It is undone because the contradiction can no longer stand. How long can contradiction stand when its impossible nature is clearly revealed? What disappears in light is not attacked. It merely vanishes because it is not true. Different realities are meaningless, for reality must be one. It cannot change with time or mood or chance. Its changelessness is what makes it real. This cannot be undone. In undoing is for unreality, and this reality will do for you.
Paragraph 1. Comments, my friends. Anybody? Laverne had to take a quick exit. She said she'll be right back. Excuse me. All right, then let's just start at paragraph 1. Atonement. The atonement does not make holy. You were created holy. What's atonement? Oh, Joan's not here.
Yes. Correction of errors.
All right. So if we correct our errors in thinking, that will make us holy, right?
Well, yeah.
Trick question.
Well, it doesn't make you holy. It allows you to see your holiness.
Right.
Okay.
You're already holy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remove the blocks through
Yeah.
the atonement.
Right.
The correction of errors in thinking does not make something new. It helps us realize what never changed. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you see in paragraph 1? Okay. Paragraph 2, I'm thinking about D, and maybe she can hear us. I remember a week or 2 ago, we had some discussion where we talked about opposites and how if you keep them apart, they'll both seem to have substance. But when you have things that are opposites, if you bring them together, only one can stand because their opposition is so apparent that you understand they both can't be true. They cannot stand together, but they can seem to stand if you keep them apart. And we had that discussion a few weeks ago or whatever. But here it is again to me in paragraph 2. It says, bringing the ego to God is but to bring error to truth where it stands corrected, because it is the opposite of what it meets. And it is undone because the contradiction can no longer stand. But if you keep good thoughts of good and evil apart, they can seem to have some power and existence. But if you have the courage to just bring it and look at it and put them together, and who's going to quote unquote win is the one that has power. It says in somewhere it said that the truth does not attack. Do you see the word attack in paragraph 2?
Oh, yes. Sentence 4.
Right.
What disappears in light is not
It's not
attacked.
attacked. It merely vanishes because it is not true.
Mm-hmm.
But that can't happen unless you bring illusions to truth, or maybe more generically said, unless you bring two opposing thought systems together, they'll seem to both have power.
Right.
If you bring darkness, if you come in the house at night and it's dark and you turn on the lights, who's gonna win every time?
Light.
The light
The light.
or the dark?
Mm,
Is there a big fight?
no.
No,
Does the light attack the darkness?
no. I remember that conversation we had a couple of weeks ago because one of the things that you brought out is that because I was saying that you have to put everything on the table in order to heal it. And I was saying, if God is all knowing, why should I have to put it on the table? He should already know. And you brought out the fact that uh, we have to give permission. We have to let God. We have to want to let God healing because God is love and is not going to force us to do anything.
Yeah.
So it just triggered that thought from back a couple of weeks ago.
God knows only light. So if you want to talk about what God knows, if God already knows, why doesn't God just make us know?
Exactly.
Because love doesn't act that way. All right. Look who's
So I thought of something.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Deb.
We'll throw this out there. So if we're bringing error to truth, is error like our lesson that we realize, okay, something's going on here, and then we bring it to truth.
Yes.
So
that's
that's our
good.
path to truth.
So is error
That's
a bad thing?
No.
No.
Ultimately, it's the error that makes you aware that something's not right. And it is that understanding that makes you seek a correction.
It's part of the journey.
So, which part of this is bad?
Nothing.
I was talking with Cheryl before we started again about the Hermetic laws. There's 7. One of them is rhythm. Everything has a ebb and flow, ebb and flow. And you remember, Sherilyn, we talked about surfers like out in California and San Diego and Big Sur and all out there. And there are these massive ocean waves, right? And they're really scary, aren't they? You wouldn't want to encounter one, would you?
No.
And yet, there are these nutty people that ride these surfboards and they are looking for the biggest wave they can find. Why? Because they've learned to ride the wave. They've mastered it. So it's no longer scary. It's something they love to do. So when you understand rhythm as a universal law, you don't go against it. You learn how to use that principle, and you learn that there's a way, for example, a principle of which one encompasses vibration at any rate. Was it Debbie you were talking about, or in general, spiritual masters? They learn to raise their vibration. They don't fight the laws of vibration, but they learn how to move their minds and change their vibratory levels to avoid the negative effects of lower vibrations. Once you accept these principles, you learn to work with them. So you learn how to ride waves. Dee, you look like you want to say something. Welcome.
Do you have a Word document or some one place where you could share what those 7 principles are? I'm not familiar with them.
If you look them up,
Yeah.
you can bring, if you just Google them, it's the 7 laws of hermetics. It'll come up and you'll be able to because I did.
Matter of fact, can somebody do that right now?
Because
Somebody?
I can't find it easily. I tried, I can't.
Okay.
It's
So Kathleen, why don't you just screen share and
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
all
oh,
right. Well,
okay.
let me screen share and I'll see what we can do.
If you go to mindbodygreen.com
Well,
and
I'm
put
just going to Google it for starters.
okay,
Right.
Mind, body, what?
I go to I just Googled it and it came up, but it's under mindbodygreen.com.
Green?
Green. Mindbodygreen.com.
Here they are.
And
Can y'all read?
Yeah, I got them too.
Thank
I have
you.
them too. Yeah.
The first one is mentalism.
Mhm.
The second, correspondence. The third is vibration. The next one is polarity.
Mhm.
Then rhythm. Then cause and effect. And the last one is gender. Okay.
No, I sure don't get gender. That's for sure. So I don't know that I get, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really not familiar with them. I don't know if there's something you could share deeper,
Sure.
if
Everything has
Dual.
2 qualities within it.
okay.
In Genesis, at the end, when Adam and Eve get kicked out of the garden, there's a scripture that says something like, and he will bite your head and she will bite your feet. Let me show it to you again. What is, you seen that symbol for yin and yang?
Yeah.
They could be talking about opposites or about gender. Let me put it this way. Feminine has certain attributes and masculine offers certain attributes. Here, let me get rid of this for a minute.
So these are the 7 principles in the physical realm. Are you talking? Because if it's opposites,
No,
then
these
that's
are the
certainly
7
not of the spiritual
principles.
realm.
Jim, did you not send
I'm
emails?
totally don't know what it means. I'm not familiar with the whole general
Let me just
terminology, the hermeneutic principles in general.
I have been thinking about our next book study being on the Hermetic principles. And there's a book that was written in 1908. And it would maybe make a nice book study for us. But hold on, let me just do this and be done with it. And I just save those. I can put more detail in later. And let's just come back and start wrapping things up here for tonight. What I was saying about gender is I'm as much female as I am male.
I get that.
If you look at X and Y chromosomes, and there are these 24 pair, okay, when a new child is created, and the X chromosomes are females and the Y chromosome is male. I have more X chromosomes than male. I'm sorry, I have more X chromosomes than Y chromosomes. But our world teaches us to emphasize the one difference.
So my basic question is just as an overview for me, they're principles, they're not spiritual principles per se, because if they're dealing with opposites, because I had the wrong impression what the word meant. I thought it dealt with spiritual principles. They're not.
When we look at manifestation, the law of manifestation, the law of creating effects, effects will be caused, effects will have certain characteristics about them.
Mm-hmm.
So a feminine attribute is more generation, is more nurturing, is more about comforting, is more about gentleness. Whereas masculine nature is more about assertiveness, about action taking, about that left brain kind of stuff. Here it is again, left brain function, right brain functions. Right brain functions tend to be more gentle, more feminine, whereas left brain. But for you to be a whole person, we're learning you need to make use of both sides.
Correct.
So if I were to look at history of this species here, males haven't done that great a job, have they?
Yeah.
As rulers of the world.
So,
we could use some help. But what we failed to see is the help was always right next to us. That was the missing piece called females. Now, you may have some females now saying the males should turn everything over to the females and let us do it. No, that's the other side of the same mistake. Everything that is whole has both genders working how? Working how?
Together.
Together.
In union. Yes.
Now we're back to union. Now we're back to wholeness. Now we're back to synergistic effect. And now we're back to holiness.
Okay.
So D is from the Kabbalion, and it's like a spiritual tradition, and it helps with spiritual growth.
Okay, thank you. Kabbalah I'm familiar with.
Let me show it to you here.
So it's the same understanding as Kabbalah is what you're saying, Laverne?
Yeah.
I don't,
Thank you.
well, Laverne may know, I don't know the Kabbalah that well, but I'm going to let you guys go. Let me just see, because I was...
What's the name of the book that you were, what was the name of the book that you're thinking of using, Jim?
Here it is, right here. Let me
The
show.
Kabbalion and the 3 initiatives.
Okay.
I just want to, if possible, have you see a picture of it. Here it is. Everything has masculine and feminine principles. That's what we're talking about.
Gender manifests on all planes. The Kabbalion. The great seventh Hermetic principle, the principle of gender, embodies the truth that there is gender manifested in everything, that the masculine and feminine principles are ever present and active in all phases of phenomena on each and every plane of life. At this point, we think it well to call your attention to the fact that gender, in its Hermetic sense, and sex, in the ordinarily accepted use of the term, are not the same. The word gender is derived from the Latin root meaning to beget, to procreate, to generate, to create, to produce. A moment's consideration will show you that the word has a much broader and more general meaning than the term sex, the latter referring to the physical distinctions between male and female living things. Sex
We are currently in the midst of a Hermetic revival, and at the heart of this return of ancient knowledge
gender manifests.
So I understand your question, Dee, because we're taught that in the course about, everything is, there's no duality. So when you start talking about
That's what was confusing me.
right,
Exactly.
I know where you were coming from. Yeah.
That's exactly what was confusing me.
So what we're talking about here are the principles of manifestation.
Okay.
Forms and
Okay.
their qualities and interrelationships.
Okay.
All right. So
Thank
listen,
you.
I do appreciate your patience here tonight. And on the other hand, I'm glad you had enough interest for us to lovingly go over. Where did we leave off? We didn't finish this at all.
Number
Got to
2.
We only
First
did
Yeah.
two paragraphs.
So we start at 3 next time.
all
Paragraph
right.
3.
Thank you. All right.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Mhm.
I hope you had a good time. I'm loving it.
Okay.
I hope you did too. And I see smiles, and so thank you for payment.
I'm like, all you are proving to me is that it is just so much I do not know.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to.
But
Mhm.
see, we're helping each other, right?
Right.
Yes, we
And
are.
love, my
Okay.
friend. Y'all have a good rest of the week.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye, Jim.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.